Welcome back to Grateful for Clarity Now. I must apologize. I really jinxed myself a couple of weeks ago when I talked about uploading on Wednesdays. Wednesdays were working better. Unfortunately, due to some internet issues and provider changes, it's been a little bit delayed, and unfortunately I've not been able to upload video or get anything out. So I do apologize. Hopefully we're back up and running now. So thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'd like to talk about patience. This is the time of year. I spent a little bit of time at the mall on the weekend, and you can certainly see the crowds gathering and out shopping, with Christmas being just a few weeks away. So I'd like to talk about bringing your patience with you when you go out on these days. I know it is a challenge. It's a challenge to find a parking spot. You get in line and, you know, there's somebody fumbling around for some change, and one of the cashiers are away on a break or on a lunch, or they're just short-staffed. And it becomes a real press on our patience. The impact of being impatient, though, has significant impact on our own health. So when we're not able to kind of give people a pass, especially during this time of year when it's the season of giving and it's supposed to be joyous and peaceful, and our moods don't represent that. So a couple of things that, just a couple of tips for going out and doing your shopping and taking breaths while you're out. It all comes back to the story that we tell ourselves. An example, somebody cuts you off in traffic and automatically they don't know how to drive. They're ignorant and they're rude and they really don't care about anybody else on the road, and we fill in this lovely, horrible story about this person, and we put ourselves into a state of mood, bad mood, and it carries on. We get in line at the checkout counter, and you know there's somebody fidgeting, fumbling around. They can't get their card to work. They're looking for that dime in the bottom of their change purse. They just know it's there, everyone is standing and waiting in line, and the people, you know, getting upset about it, and it impacts your blood pressure. It impacts the rest of your day. However, my tips. So when I get cut off in traffic, I don't know that person's story. And we have all been in situations where we're distracted, whether it's a loved one that's in the hospital, whether it's a bad day at work, or something going on at home. We don't know. So tell yourself a different story. Change the story you're telling yourself, because it's better for you. The person in the other car has no idea what impact, and they may in fact just be an ignorant driver. It's hard to say, but you don't know. So why not assume the best? Why are we so quick to assume the worst? This person is just being ignorant and making my day bad, and everybody else is on the road, and they're going to kill somebody, and on and on and on and on, and we fill it all in. And that may not be the case. So why not just assume the best? Why do we always jump to the worst possible conclusion about people? We get in line. You know, there's always someone that is distracted in line even, and they can't get their card to work because they can't remember their PIN number, or they've forgotten something at the grocery store and they need to run back to get it. or you're standing in line in the grocery store, and of course, you know, the person in front of you, or in front of you, maybe not directly in front of you, has an item that's not priced properly, and so now we're waiting for somebody to go and do a price check. All of those things will seem to happen when you are in a bad mood or when you are in a rush. So take a step back, take a breath. When you're going out to do your shopping, give yourself the time that you need. Don't rush it. And sometimes we can't help that, and that's the way life is. But when it happens, think about the best for that person. They're not doing it intentionally. One of the things that is a really good opportunity, I had an experience. I was standing in line, and everybody was kind of, it looked like, well, it always looks like everybody's in a hurry. Everybody needs to be somewhere else. And I was standing in line, and there was a new teller that was being trained, and there was a problem. An item wouldn't scan, and there was a gentleman that was behind me. And so I started just kind of cracking some jokes and laughing and whatnot. And we were in line for probably 20 minutes, and all of the checkouts were full, so there was no point in changing lanes. And by the time we got up to the checkout, this gentleman that was behind me with his son was laughing. He and I were kind of joking and laughing together. And when I got up to when it was my turn, I said to him, I said, if you're in more of a hurry, I said, you can go in front of me. And he said, no, that's okay. And then he said to the lady behind the counter, he said, I'm going to pay for her order. And I looked at him and I said, pardon me? And he said, I'm in a hurry today, and I was already in a bad mood when I got here. He said, but, you're making the best of a bad situation, and I really appreciate that because you've lifted my mood. Why not lift somebody else's mood? Why not be that person? They've got all the music playing in the stores. If you're stuck in line, just start singing or humming a Christmas song. Get a lane going. People start singing in the store. It's going to cheer everybody up. Do something to make the other person that's also experiencing your nightmare smile. It makes the world of difference. It makes the world of difference if we go in knowing and expecting that there are going to be crying children, that there are going to be elderly people that are a little baffled about what they're buying for their grandkids and their great-grandchildren. There's going to be tellers that are learning. There's going to be lack of parking. All of those things are going to happen. It's inevitable. There's a whole lot of people going to the same place, dreading it just as much as you're dreading it, going out into the crowds. So, how about you be a light for someone else? And this is something else that I wanted to touch on tonight too, is the kids. The kids are amped. They are pumped for Christmas. And they go into the stores, they see all the decorations, they see all the people. Santa might be at the mall. They're anticipating Christmas. It's a joyous time for children, but it causes them to be already so anxious, so excited that they're sometimes not on their best behavior. Their stress levels are up, just like yours are. So cut them some slack. And, one of the things that you can utilize is to join in their fun. It doesn't matter. This is their Christmas. Christmas really is, it's for everyone, but it's the children that anticipate it all year long. And as soon as it starts to come around and they see the lights on the houses and they see the tree in your living room, it just brings it up It amplifies it. And they just are over the top excited. So cut them some slack. Don't be yelling at them in the mall. If they're way out of control, try to limit the amount of sugar that they're receiving, because that can have a huge impact on their mood. If they're sugar crashing, it's a lot of patience that's required when they're having that meltdown in the mall and laying on the ground and you've got 20 other things to do. I get it. I lived it. But you know what? They're only little ones. So cut them some slack. Plan your days better so that you're going to the mall when you have the time to go to the mall. If you're taking the kids with you, absolutely pack extra patience. Make it fun. Make it fun for them. So, if I see you at the mall and you're singing a Christmas carol, I want to come up and shake your hand and I'll sing along with you. Thank you again for joining us. I hope that the tidbits of information, just the insight perhaps that you've gained from talking about this on a different level and maybe from a different angle, will help you to be conscious of it when you're out shopping. Take some breaths. Christmas will be over in another month, and this will be in the history books. So I thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, and until next week, namaste.